at him. Oh, hello, we're live. We've got to start. I'll tell you the story later, shall I? Hello, welcome 707ers to the, it's at, what's it, 7:12 now. Sorry, we're a bit late today. We had some problems with Facebook and we had to change a couple of things. Michael, as usual, spot on, doing a good job keeping us here. But I have got the UK in the house. So I'm Moira Bush.
Mark Stephen Pooler from Birmingham, United Kingdom.
That's a Birmingham accent you're hearing. I love it.
Yeah, I'm Lynn Hope Thomas. I'm from Kirkham near Blackpool in United Kingdom.
Yeah, and I'm Michael Beast from Bristol, UK, but originally from Poland.
Yeah, just in case you thought that was a Bristol accent, it isn't. It's from Poland.
Yes.
I came downstairs today and our three beautiful guests had arrived and I could hear these accents from Britain floating around because I haven't been back to Britain since I left about 3.5 years ago. So it was so lovely to hear you. So welcome to Canada.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your first visit to Canada?
Yes.
Yes, and everyone has been so welcoming, giving us beautiful food.
And I've got a beer in the fridge for you.
After the show.
After the show, we made sure, look, this is genuine. I've got water. What have you guys got?
I've got a chai.
What have you got, Mom?
I had coffee.
Okay, you're going to be bouncing like that. You're so funny. Oh, fabulous. So, I've just got to just explain to our 707 group here that, yes, we were supposed to finish our season 2 last week. And then the beautiful Cora Christabel rang bells with me. And at 7:30 one morning, she phoned me and said, I'd like to be on the show. And that was for the Magenta show because, Jack Canfield is coming on the 6th of April. And I said, okay, well, I don't have any spaces, but we'll specially create an episode for you, which we did. And then what we did was, I don't know how it happened, but you and I connected, Mark.
We did, yes, on Facebook, having a nice chat.
We had a very nice chat. And you said, can I be on your show? And I went, I'm really sorry, we're booked. And Cora's kind of taken the last show before Jack's event is here. Turned out you guys were all coming to Jack Canfield's event. Not just to attend it, but to speak on stage at Jack's event. Yeah. On Saturday. I mean, that's awesome. How brave are you?
Lynn's braver than us.
The most of all.
She's got a bigger slot, so she's the brave one.
How long are you going to speak for?
Probably about 18 minutes.
And then we cheer all the way. 18 minutes.
And how much time have you got, Mark?
We're 30 seconds, so we've got a short slot.
Yeah, we're just there to grab a spot and be on a stage and then grab an attention.
What on earth can you say in 30 seconds?
A lot.
Really?
We'll see.
Because this event on Saturday, because this is why we're having the 707 show, a special edition is, it's the first time, first of all, this is amazing, the first time we've had guests from overseas come into our studio here in Oakville, and it is specifically because I have a secret crush on Jack Canfield with my husband's permission, and anything to promote him being here, anything to promote people to be aware, to go to an event where his energy is going to be. So when you guys said you wanted to be here, of course we had to create another show. So let's just have a quick look who's joined us. Carl, Richard, Julie Francis.
Oh,
Cora, hi Cora.
Cora. We love you, girl. This is all for you. This is all for you, Shelley Baines. And Joanne is one of my master students. She's saying hello. That's fantastic. Hello, Joanne, darling. We love you. Thank you for supporting and tuning in. Share the show. You're going to meet Joanne. She's going to be at the event. So if you want to meet one of these beautiful celebrity guests, Joanne, come and see us. Make sure you come and say hello. I don't know where you're going to sit in the room, but I'll introduce you to this wonderful, wonderful trio. So we kind of thought of what could we talk about besides Jack Canfield and Cora, whom we love, and this amazing opportunity that you have. What else we could talk about? And one of the subjects that kind of came through my mind was spiritual broadcasting and spiritual branding and writing, being a spiritual author. These are all the fields that the three of you are passionate about. Do you think that, because coming from the UK, you're new to Canada, so we kind of want to hear your perspective of what's happening in the UK. Do you think that the whole coming out the spiritual closet, speaking on stage, writing books, broadcasting, that is a growing phenomena in England? Is that happening? Do you see it?
It's definitely growing, yes. I think more people are becoming awake and aware, more accepting, more open, and the world of entrepreneurship in the UK is definitely growing quite fast.
And is that for spiritual entrepreneurs, or is this business people opening up to spirituality? What would you say is the trend there?
I think it's like people start to figure out that there's something behind. So we have like this hard part of business figured out. So you have like sales, marketing. We know that's working. But then when you go through this, you see that, okay, but we still do the same thing, and one company is doing better than another. Why is that? And when you, for example, there's a really old book, From Good to Great, and they are showing that the thing that makes companies and entrepreneurs grow is actually their mission, how they communicate it, their vision. So you have to look deep inside you to create a great business. So I think that people are actually, because if it's like when you're well fed, when you don't need anything to drink, then you start to figure out, okay, what's next. So I think that business is well fed, and now it can figure out, okay, is there something behind it? And people start to look, okay, how do I feel? How my
And
feel?
people that pay attention to the spirituality element and the personal development when the companies make more money, because everyone's interested in making more money, right? But if there is a company who's doing some kind of spiritual practice or belief, or using the law of attraction in a certain way to create their wealth, everybody wants to know how they're doing it. And that could be what opens them up to exploring it, all right?
I think that there were actually research done that people who feel unhappy are much less productive, and then they try to introduce happiness to the business, and like one of the best tools to like start feeling happiness is gratitude. But then when you think about gratitude, there is no ROI for it. You cannot measure it. It's like, are you grateful or not? And then suddenly it changes, so we can like get deeper to it.
Well, what I love about gratitude, because we've spoken about it on several 707 shows, is that it is something you can practice as an energy. You don't even have to feel it initially. You can just go, okay, well, what am I grateful for today? And then slowly after time, if you keep saying I'm grateful for my home, for my family, for my health, then you start feeling it. Then it becomes a feeling. So you can evolve it. So that is something anybody can do in a corporate environment as well. I'm just grateful I have a job.
Exactly.
Grateful I have a good boss. And start that way.
When you're grateful, the universe gives you more things to be grateful for. So what happens, that builds up that gratitude, and then you start to notice more things happening, and you think, wow, this is cool.
I think what we want, I'm just going to ask the audience here. I'm seeing a couple of red hearts here, but I'm going to challenge you guys. We have got Britain in the house here today, and it's a very green Britain. It's always raining. There's always this beautiful green pasture lands and green forests. So we want to see green hearts from you. If you're loving our guests from England, I want to see green hearts in the comments box, okay? And share the show. All right, let's have a look what they're saying. Cora says, I'm so happy to see you all together. Oh, Cora, you know what? We should have just had you on this one as well. Joanne, welcome to Toronto. I'm excited to meet you on Saturday. Marla, Samuel, great topic. People are really looking for meaning and nourishment in what they do, cultivating connectedness. Let's speak about that. Marla, thank you for that, for that suggestion. Cultivating connectedness. How do you in your spiritual because your spiritual business is really, you're here, you want to help people. How do you cultivate connectedness in your business? What do you do to grow that spirit connectedness energy?
Coming from a place of love. I think it's sometimes in the business world people can be very ego driven, and I feel like it's important to come from a place of love, honesty and good values.
Wow, a place of love creates connectedness. I think that it's since I've been here in Canada, because I was 15 years in the UK, loved it, and I loved it, just not the wet weather. So, but we're not going to have the weather conversation. Don't worry, I always moan about it. So, but one of the things I felt when I came to Canada here was that people wanted to build a relationship with you before they would part with their money. So you can't any longer go and just market and sell yourself and hope people will, by the fact that you've introduced yourself and given a business card, that they're going to suddenly become your client. They want to know who you are. And that's spiritual. That's a spiritual way of doing business, to build a relationship, to get to know people first.
It's also longer lasting as well, rather than just getting a quick sale off someone. If you build friendships, relationships, that can go on for a long time and better things.
And that's that connectedness. Because if you have a connection with somebody, you want to keep that connection going, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but then you can trick one person just one time. So we've been through like sales, like buying different stuff that we didn't want, or this disappointment. So that's why now it's I don't think it's in Canada or in UK actually everyone is going to, do I really know you? Are you providing value for me? So it's like we've been through tricky sales calls and other stuff, so we know it. So it's now when we do business, we are trying to find a connection.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, does that happen for you, Lynn? People want to get to know you before they.
I think they definitely do, and I think it's a two-way thing. I tend to work in quite large corporates, so there's a lot of people still quite closed down on the spirituality thing, and people are still a bit embarrassed to even like open up and talk about it because of that, particularly in UK, you know, that stiff upper lip.
Oh no, that's still there.
It's still there. But what you find is you can usually tell just by the way people talk and that connectedness if they've got, you know, there's a difference between managers who've got open heart and the ones who don't. And what I'm finding is that the places where people are the most disconnected and uninspired, you will often find that those organisations are losing money. They may be going out of business, particularly in these days of you know, the advances in technology. We're now moving into AI.
Oh my goodness, isn't that huge, the whole AI technology?
Yeah, so it's so key that if you want to really have a thriving business, that you address that, and that you are coming from the heart, and that the people, your employees, can feel that. But I think it's also part of the change and the cycles that are happening in different countries where people are becoming unhappy, and so they're then looking to become, well, what do I want to do? And that's where they're setting up their own businesses. I know you meet a lot of people like that, Mark, and probably you do with your branding, where people are wanting to say, well, I don't want to do this employee thing anymore because I'm so unhappy. They talk about work-life balance, and very often, although they believe they're offering that to employees, they're not actually getting that.
But then on the other hand, when you become an entrepreneur, when you start your own business, you become an employer by yourself. So it's like
you do see the other half.
Yeah, but it's like, you know, it's not just the way just leave your job and start being an entrepreneur. It's like how can we take big businesses like that they hire thousands of people and make them feel like good, like tribe, like a community. Because one day when you open your business and your business will grow, you will be the, you know, the evil one running corporation. So how can we like change it on any level? Because big companies aren't going anywhere. I think.
But I think that if this kind of show that we're doing now, the 707 show, was, I did it with, and I started it with an intention to help my group specifically. It's an internship program, so to help the mentoring students I've had specifically come on camera live and broadcast coming out the spiritual closet. And literally we had one student who came on here whose family knew absolutely nothing about her studies in the field of spirit. And of course the field of spirit is about learning about yourself. It's about becoming authentically you. And of course when she got home, she got the phone call from mom. What are you doing? Where are you? I'm calling the priest. And the priest called. You know, she had to please explain what is this weird stuff she's up to. And there's such a lot of judgment and prejudice around it because people put the word spirituality out there, and they put the New Age and the esoteric, and they put those kind of names. Oracle, I mean, those are all words that is considered, you know, by most church standards as being, you know, on the wrong side. But I think the more of us that are on this spiritual soul-searching journey, who's prepared to sit in front of a camera like this, and especially live, there's no editing, live, and just be yourself, so people can see you're not from the dark side. You're not weird and wacky. You're actually just trying to find your way through life like everyone else.
Yeah.
So how do you help people come out the spiritual closet, Mark? I'm going to ask this for each one of you. How do you help people come out the spiritual closet? So I'm going to start with you.
I would have to go on personal experience of my own journey and going through a lot of bad times, hard times, hitting rock bottom a few times. That sort of sends you in a better direction and opens you up to a more spiritual life.
And how can you help somebody who is going through a dark time, or who is coming out ready to let the world see this new them? How do you help them? What do you specifically do?
Okay, so I am a good listener, get to know people, really build good friendships and relationships, and in a business sense I help people to find their voice, find their message, really dig deep and to use the power of their voice to build their business.
Yeah. So are you going to do a TV? I know you're doing radio at the moment, and is it podcasting as well, or just radio?
At the moment I'm a radio host.
You're a radio host, and are we piquing your interest with a TV Facebook show here?
Television is on my vision board, yes. So
Yay!
I've manifested most things, so television is definitely on my vision board, yes.
Yeah. Oh, fabulous. Everybody can be a broadcaster now, so that's a wonderful way to help people find their voice, to allow them to express themselves, their uniqueness. That's wonderful. I love it. Thank you for doing that work. We want to give Mark lots and lots of green hearts, because what he does is really beautiful. Come on, guys. I want to see green hearts here. Green hearts. There you go. Lynn, what do you do to help people come out the spiritual closet, to be more of themselves, be more authentic?
Well, for me, I believe, because mine's been quite a journey too. In you know, it's happened over decades really, and culminated in me writing basically about like my story. So
Breaking Through Loss. I've got a copy.
Sorry,
of the
I'm
book
not.
here.
I'm not trying to plug the book.
I'm plugging your book for you. It's a beautiful cover, by the way, which I believe Michal had something to do.
Yeah.
So when we get
He
to Michal,
did.
I want to hear all about this. But this is a beautiful book. It goes beautiful with the little table colours we have here, by the way.
Thank you very much.
So tell us how you
So
help.
the more that I can be authentic, then that is giving permission to other people to also be authentic. And so, I mean, I spent several decades, I hate saying it, almost hiding away from the public eye the fact that I'd been married and divorced 3 times. And I remember the first time I was in Brisbane, Australia, at a meetup, and it was the first time that I stood up and I publicly blurted out that yes, I was on my 3rd divorce, and I felt like I wasn't worth anything because the shame of that. But as I said it, a guy stood up and came up to me, and he gave me a hug and he says, "Welcome to the club."
Oh, there's a club for us. I love it.
So it was a realisation that I wasn't the only one, and whether that was my ego thinking that I was the only one who'd gone through that, I realised very quickly the minute I started talking about it and being authentic that I wasn't. And what I do now is I try to help other people to get through some of their things that they're perhaps hiding, where they know they've got fears or they've got shames or guilts, and that helps to open up their own lives and abundance. So I like to help entrepreneurs.
So it's emotional healing as well. This is really hitting the emotions. So so Mark helps them find their voice. You look at the emotional healing and blocks.
Yes.
But I love that you also say the greatest service you do for them is for you to turn up authentically. Because if they see you authentic, then it gives them permission.
Yeah.
I love it, Lynn.
Thank you. It is very rewarding.
Wow. Michael, what do you do to help people come out the spiritual closet, be more themselves, be more authentic?
Yeah, actually, this is the thing that like make me different from other people working on personal branding and branding, because I heard many times that people would just pay me for the first conversation, like before even started branding, because it was so opening to them. Because if you think about if somebody wants to become well known in their field, like personal branding star, then we most of the times we'll look at people who already are successful, and we think, oh, I like this one, I would like to be like this one, or like this person. And when I start working with clients, I'm always going deep into who you really are. So we go through the dark times, dark side, fears, problems, because I believe it's like we've been through those situations to get asset that we can then share with other people. Then we go to the bright side. So what are your dreams? What are your desires?
Wow.
Where do you want to go? What's your vision? And then we try to find connections between those two, because it's like the balancing the energy. We have this cycle of energy. And then actually I don't do much, because after this...
hold on a minute. You've got two of your clients here that you've helped brand, and I'm sure they'll have something to say about this.
That's because I stopped attracting people who try to pretend someone who they are not, because I started telling them, I won't do you like this person, because you will be number two. And I believe that everyone has their unique light, that if shown properly, it can be number one on every so there can be 1,001 number one coaches on in the same room, and they all be different.
Yes.
So it's not about what I would say to you said that bringing people out from a closet. I would say that going into this true identity is just fun, because then it's like, you don't need television, internet, because then you have fun running your own life. And it's like really interesting, because you are working with your shadow, then going after your light, and it's entertaining. So it's going after this, I think, will bring you more fun in life.
Yeah,
I love it.
So it's more like getting back to being child again, and this is exciting.
I love it.
Yeah, and I love this.
You're getting lots
sparkles
of green.
and eyes.
Yeah, you're getting lots. I love sparkles too. You're getting lots of green hearts, guys. Juliet Francis says, yes, shine your unique light. She's agreeing with you. It is that. But it takes someone special like you guys to be able to go in and, to convince people or bring forth their voice, to bring forth the healing that's needed, to bring forth that spirit, and especially the balance between their light and dark, and to bring it through authentically as who they are, and make that then into branding products. And I mean, into a branding is such a word. Cows get branded, and then somebody owns them, right? So I wish there was another name for branding that we could use, but
I said that I awake stars. Because I was thinking...
Awakening the star within you. That's a good name for branding. I love that. Yeah.
And then you can just show it, and when you show it the right way.
Because it's again that fun to say, this is who I am, these are my colors, this is my intention. It's really just like a piece of art saying, so that you get familiar with who I am. Yeah. It's not really branding. All right, let's see. Michael, can you scroll down for me? Because I think Marla said something earlier that caught my eye when I looked here. That's it. I think people are attracted to joyful companies. This is now for you, Lynn. It seems to be a movement now where people buy from companies that make them feel good about helping others.
Yeah, a lot of companies have their corporate social responsibilities anyway, but I think there's a difference between the ones who are doing that from a genuine heart and the ones who are just ticking it off as, oh, we've got to show that we're doing this, so we'll hook up with one of the big charities and we've done our bit. I think there is a big difference.
It is different. Accountability is huge. I mean, I left South Africa at the time when the whole apartheid system was ending, and companies were made to feel guilty about the way that they handled themselves, and they had to have social responsibility, and they weren't allowed to just give money to a charity, they had to be seen to actually care and do something.
Yeah.
And so many people in the corporate environment at that time, the eyes open, and they realized the poverty in the country. They could actually see it because they've been living in their middle class, upper class bubbles, and they hadn't seen how it's affected the rest of the country.
Yeah.
And it changed people at a heart level. It was huge. And also with Mandela coming out and not wanting to take, go to war or have retribution.
Yes.
He just wanted people to start forgiving and moving on. He made a big
I mean, we see, if you don't mind me sharing, in the UK, I don't know what it's like in
the
Canada.
Brexit thing.
No.
Oh.
We're not talking about
Oh, we're not.
We're not talking
Okay,
about
with the
didn't
Brexit
happen.
off the table. Okay,
happened.
all right.
I thought I escaped it, but I'll be going back to it. No, where what we're seeing are small organisations. I mean, a lot of shops are shutting down in the high street because of online sales for different reasons. But then you get these small businesses like bakeries that are allowing people who are homeless on the street to have like a cup of coffee or some toast and feeding them. You've got hairdressers, like locally in Preston, the hairdresser I go to, she helps veterans, they'll get a free haircut. If they're suffering depression, she's going to let veterans come in because her own partner unfortunately committed suicide from the Troubles. So you get organisations like that showing their heart, and that is real, and it's heartwarming. And
No,
it's
we
good to
don't
see
hear
those
about
things.
these stories. It's like the feel-good news isn't what makes news headlines, right?
Does it?
Yep,
And it's
but
sad
it's like,
in a way.
It's just the same like with people. So you can fake that you are genuine. You can try to fake that you are doing something right, but then we can feel that it's not genuine. And the same thing is with the companies. So until they actually switch to, because we attract not only people but also companies, and companies attract people, and this is actually branding, because you are choosing one company over another because you like to spend time and energy with the company, because you can have so many types of coffee, so many types of clothes, but you want to buy from company that doesn't abuse workers, that looks good, you feel good with it. So it's like choosing people you're around with. You also are choosing brands around you.
Yeah, absolutely. The energy is important.
Great.
Eh? Wow. All right, we've got Michael. Have we got any other? If we've got questions, if you guys want to ask our beautiful panel of guest questions, not about Brexit and not about the weather in the UK.
It's actually better.
You're welcome to see some. If there's any questions, Michael will flash it up here. Yes, to be authentic. Yeah, it's time
I
to
love
bridge
those
the
green
gap.
hearts.
Oh yeah, no, we're getting lots of green
Thank
hearts
you.
for our. Yeah, it's Green Heart Night tonight, and it's to say a huge gratitude, green hug to our British guests here. That's why we've got green hearts. Okay, so there are a couple of people joining us a little bit later as well, Norma and Fabulous. Okay, so what I want to ask you now is, because our time, I'm extending the show. I can do. You see, this is the thing about broadcasting your own thing. Eh? It's like you can do what you like. Isn't that amazing? All right. So going after the event with Jack Canfield this weekend, and you're going to be going home. Have you set an intention to say what it is that is going to happen to you on Saturday that might be life-changing, business-changing at some level? Have any of you actually thought this through, that this could be something that is quite huge?
Personally, I just like to build relationships and come back with lots of new connections that I can build long relationships with.
So that's what you've put in mind to
build
meet.
good relationships
Okay,
with people.
all right. So just in case people don't know, on the Magenta show, Cora very kindly, that's a show that ran yesterday off my timeline, gave us 5 tickets.
Ooh.
And you'll see here, general admission, $500 each. 5 tickets for people who are going to be put into a draw that shared the Magenta show the most. And I cancelled a course to be at Jack's event. I'm going to be at the door with my producer and camera, ready to give out these 5 tickets to the 5 lucky winners. You'll be notified, and we'll have a point where we're going to meet and give tickets out. And if you want to then meet Mark, because that's what he wants to do, if you're interested in learning about radio broadcasting, being on his show, he can get you on Fox News, he can get you on all sorts of amazing channels. You want to meet him and learn from him, you need to just tell me when you come get your ticket, and I will pass on somewhere during the day. We'll meet up and I'll forward people to you. Is that okay?
That's
Bring your
lovely.
business cards. I can give your cards to Mark. Is that okay?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank
Alright.
you.
Okay, 5 tickets. I mean, hello, how much money am I sitting with here? I think I'm going to sell these. Sorry, Cora. Okay, fabulous. And Lynn, have you thought about what this event's going to do for you?
Yes, I would imagine that when I do my speech, I mean, it's going to be great meeting Jack Canfield and the other speakers. And
You're having
Cora
dinner.
and-
You're having dinner with him on Friday night,
Yeah.
I believe. Eh?
Yes,
Yeah.
true. Is that I'll speak to the right people who understand what my message is, and I'll be able to go back and have that connection with them and be able to support them through whatever their challenges may be currently. So hopefully we'll get a successful and fast transformation for them.
Okay.
I'd imagine that they're entrepreneurs at that event. And yeah,
It'll be international. There'll be a lot of people there. Yeah.
yeah.
So you can come back to Canada.
I definitely see coming back to Canada
Oh,
on
Autumn is beautiful here, girl. You want to come back in autumn. The
Yes.
trees here are so beautiful. And it's
Absolutely.
balmy. It's balmy. It's not like the weather in England that's wet and damp. It really is beautiful and dry.
Yeah. Well, do you know what?
Somebody's
Yesterday,
been to the wrong part of England.
you should come to Kirk. It's beautiful there. Yeah, yesterday down at the harbour side in Toronto, it was fantastic sunshine, beautiful light, all blue on the lake.
It is lovely.
It was
light there.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could easily live in Toronto.
Okay, we've got to come back. All right. So, if you also want to meet Lynn and you would like to know a little bit about her work or get a copy of her book or know how to get a copy of her book, please, again, you just come and bring me your business card. Look out for me. We'll pass it on to Lynn as well, okay? And in case we because it's going to be busy, right?
It will be.
Yeah. All right. Michal, what did
Yeah.
you have in mind for your Jack Canfield experience?
I actually, I don't know what I don't know, and I found out that if I try to set a goal, it's actually I'm setting either too small or in the wrong direction.
Love it.
I love that.
And we were talking today about bizarre like chain of events that led me being here,
Yeah.
because it's really, and I found that I have many, like almost all events in my life are like this, so I'm really driven by curiosity. So I'm open to many, so universe always surprises me with better things that I assume, so I'm open because I don't know what I don't know. I think that there already happened really beautiful things. I
So
speak
many.
to speak to a guy on LinkedIn, and then he appeared to be a photographer with a great startup. We started talking about ways that we can collaborate, and he will do a photo shoot for us tomorrow. I've already like prospected a client from United States, so it's like already amazing things are happening. So I'm open to receive more amazing things.
Oh, I love that. Open to receive more. That's a wonderful way to do it, right?
Going with
And
the
I think
flow.
the key point there is that you took action,
Yeah.
and you didn't say, tell yourself what not to do.
Yeah.
It was like, yes, I'm going to go, I'm going to be there,
Yeah.
and I'm going to see what turns up for me. And I think the universe does reward you when you do that.
Yeah. And I think also if you go, you just go with that curiosity. I like the curiosity. You just go, and also, I wasn't supposed to come to the event at all because I've met Jack and he was at my book launch and he brilliant. He quoted from my book when he was on stage, and it was a lovely connection. He's a very humbling, beautiful energy, and I felt, well, I don't need to go, you know, although I wanted to get to know Cora and find out more about the Toronto Women's Club. I wanted to know more, but it kept coming, and his event kept popping up on my feeds, on Facebook. People kept speaking about it. And then when Cora phoned me at 7:30 in the morning, darling, you're lucky I get up early. And we started speaking. It all fell into place. Now I knew I had to cancel, well, I postponed my course to June. and I had to be there as well. So again, I'm also going with, well, I'm just following the breadcrumb trail. There's all these signs that says be there.
Yes.
And now that I've met you gorgeous people, I actually want to go and hear you speak. I'm going to be clapping for you in the audience. I'm going to be there and root for you. Please also look out to meet some of the guests that we've had on our show. Jim Hetherington.
Yes.
And have you met him yet?
Not met him yet.
And Stacey, Dr. Stacey Cooper Latimer, she's been on the show. She's also speaking at the event. You want to have a chat with them. They're beautiful, beautiful souls. They've been on the Magenta show.
They're both my clients too.
Oh, what a small world. Hey, I have to tell you guys, if you don't know this, but the kind of area that they live in the UK, I was little bit, it's like they dotted around me where I used to live with Paul in England. So I feel a little homesick tonight. It's like I can hear the robins and I can smell the air and I can feel the daffodils and the crocuses. We're not going to talk about the rain. I'll never forget the Queen's Jubilee. I was so excited. My aunt was there from South Africa, and it was like we had our summer clothes on, and we were going to watch her float down the river on the barge. And, do real English things. So for South African soul, this is like real English stuff, right? It poured. And it poured.
Did not.
So did you end up swimming?
I don't know. Oh, it was just the English weather just did that, yeah. So I'm hoping that this has been useful for you guys to come on the show and see a little bit about Canadian broadcasting Facebook Lives, and that it's been useful. And if there's anything you want to share with our beautiful, oh, you go, so happy for you guys, Curiosity, such a wonderful opening. If there's anything you want to share, this is your moment, plug away.
Thank you for having us as a guest on this amazing show, making us really welcome. I'm Mark Stephen Pooler. If you're interested in public speaking or press or PR would be good for you, do reach out. I'm very, very friendly.
And spiritual.
And spiritual too.
I'm spiritual too.
We are spirits having our
We are. I'm Lynn Hope Thomas. You can catch me on lynnhopethomas.com. If you want a fast transformation, or you're going through change, or you've got some challenges that you'd like help on, I'm your girl.
Fabulous.
Thank you, yeah.
Okay, so I'm Michael Beast, and I awake stars. So if you want to become a recognizable number one in your industry, and you want to do it on your terms and become even more you than you are, then I can work with you.
And he's spiritual too.
We're all spiritual.
They're all very beautiful. So my darlings, thank you so much. And if you want to come and join us and meet all of us at Jack Canfield's event organized by Cora and her team at the Toronto Women's Club, you can go to, I think, Michael, it's Toronto womensclub.com, is that correct? He's giving me the thumbs up. And you can go on there, and then all the information to the event on Saturday is there. There are still some tickets available. The bonus that I just must mention, there's a bonus that comes when you get a ticket. You're going to go into a ballot to win a special front row seat and get an autographed book by Michelle Obama when she comes in May to Toronto. So Cora has really pulled out all the steps to make this an incredible event. Cool. No, she wants to grab my tickets. No, it's my audience tickets. I'm just gonna hide them for you guys. So thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. You are amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing you on stage, and rooting for you, and hearing your special messages, because it's being on stage and speaking public is a big thing. So I really applaud you for that.
Thank you so much.
I know it takes a lot of energy and strength and courage to do that, and all three of you are just amazing. So thank you. Michael, thank you for producing. Audience, my darlings, thank you for tuning in, supporting the show. We love you. Share it, get people to join us on the group, and we will see you. This is the last one for the season. We will see you after. We're going to have a 3-week break, and we'll make the announcement who the guest and the TV hosts are for the opening of season 3 of the 707 show. Love you. Cheers.
Bye.
Did you guys